which provides protections for those seeking reproductive and gender-affirming health care services, passed last night in Easthampton. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lockery joining us now live in studio with more on the heated discussions. Reagan.
Yeah, Chris, more than 50 people across the Commonwealth attended last night's public hearing. Tensions rose as the Easthampton City Council heard concerns and testimony from residents, lawyers, professors, and medical professionals.
Does not have the teeth to shut down anything under any situation or circumstance. It bothers me because either somebody is misinformed or they are not being truthful. And I hope that it's the first. I really do. I hope that nobody is in bad faith scaring people.
An ordinance going to shut down little infants in the womb. And we're coming for you, Planned Parenthood.
Thank you.
We're coming.
Thank you.
Tense moments at Wednesday night's public hearing, where residents had an opportunity to speak out before councilors voted on an ordinance which provides protections for those seeking reproductive and gender-affirming healthcare services. One common concern was whether the ordinance would impact Bethlehem House, since it could be considered a limited services pregnancy center, and was also vandalized last year when a similar ordinance was first proposed.
The biggest concern I have is the fact that of the pathway to this ordinance has caused division with our residents, vandalism, and written violent threats painted on the property.
However, Thomas Peake assured the public the ordinance does not have the power to shut down any facility, but instead protects Easthampton residents from deceptive advertising in crisis pregnancy centers.
Using search terms like abortion clinics near me, these Google ads intercept people seeking abortion health care and direct them to anti-abortion CPCs, including here in Western Massachusetts. Please help protect our citizens with this ordinance.
As a sanctuary state, people have flocked to the Bay State from the states where abortion is illegal. And one Western Mass-based researcher fears this has made our state a target of misinformation.
So the ordinance's safe access provision is critical in applying state shield law locally to protect folks in Easthampton from out-of-state prosecution for reproductive or gender-affirming care.
The ordinance passed last night with 6 councilors voting yes and 1 no. Easthampton Mayor Nicole LaChapelle has also shown reluctance towards the proposal, and it's unclear at this time whether or not she will veto it. For a link to the full ordinance, head to our website, westernmassnews.com, and click on the blue As Seen on TV button. Reporting live in studio, Reagan Lockery for Western Mass News.